Well, good evening, everybody, and this Memorial Day Murderthon special. I decided to come in tonight, even though I had things to do, because I have to prepare for tomorrow. But it seems there's a bit of a pissing match going on, and it all involves Juan O Savin. Now, probably virtually anybody in here is not a fan of Juan O Savin, including me. But what makes this so important is that Juan is the latest casualty in the war uh, against Timmy and the world. Uh, Now, we've had Timmy go against Lynn Wood, we've had Timmy go against General Flynn and David Strait and others, and now we have Juan O Savin in the middle of this. Um, Due to a article that came up, and where did it go? There it is. Uh, Timmy did a thing over on Gab, and it basically says that Juan O Savin sold out Field McConnell, and he made uh, other claims such as Randy Lynn Erickson and I spoke with Jay Russell Gould, who was another trip. Guy's now in a dirt nap. Gould knew how to move Field back out of jail. Randy Erickson paid Gould $5,000 of her own money out of her own pocket to travel to the U.S. Supreme Court to do what he needed to do. And this part came up. Uh, Shortly after Field McConnell was kidnapped in Plum City, Wisconsin, I contacted Juan O Savin by telephone. I was hoping to rally the troops to help Field. Juan O Savin, fake ass name, said Field was guilty and he wasn't going to help Field. Now, this is something of a bombshell, and considering this took place several years ago, I'm a little surprised that this is coming out now. I mean, you would think if Juan O Savin had betrayed Field McConnell way back when, that it would be the first thing that Tim Holmseth and Randy Erickson would be talking about. But rather than do that, they waited until May of 2022 to reveal this bombshell that Juan O Savin, according to them, was no friend of Field McConnell. And so now we have all this turmoil going on over on the various media sites about um, whether or not Juan O Savin is worthy of anybody's support. And there was one message here that is supposed to be from Juan O Savin to an anonymous chat. And basically, Juan is saying that Tim's got Canadians trying to get him, like infiltration and a honey trap. So, someone with the account name purported to be that of Juan is saying that Infiltrated by Truth is a honey trap, which people have been saying, because Timmy is easily fooled by the ladies. And so if a lady shows an interest in him, he's going to show an interest in them to the point where he is able to get what he needs to get from the ladies. And so we have this going on. Now, like I said, this is going to be a brief live stream because I don't have a lot going on, but I just want to go over this a little bit so people understand that Tim Holmseth and Randy are only loyal to themselves. They're not loyal to anybody else. This includes Infiltrated or anyone else over there um, beating their chest over this guy and making love on their cell phones because that's not the case. Tim Holmseth is for Tim Holmseth, period. And anyone that believes anything different um, is fooling themselves. of course, let's see if I can find this now. They can always support Tim in the way he likes to be supported, even though he claims he doesn't, and that is to buy his brand spanking new T-shirt. Now, Tim Homeseth is advertising this T-shirt as the latest helping. I think this makes the third in a series, and people are already buying it. Uh, and so you can go out and spend like $30 on how much this crap is, and buy yourself a T-shirt, which is exactly what he wants. You know, they've got tens of thousands of supporters on the various channels. And if you go by the 10% rule, he's going to make a pretty good sum of money off of these overpriced T-shirts. But, you know, I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. If people want to buy these things, they can go right ahead. And I understand that they've been kicking people off left and right, on Gab especially, and on Telegram, uh, because they don't want the secret getting out. I think this is one reason they don't like my channel, is because I have access to all this stuff, uh, even now as small as it is. But people are starting to get wise, one by one by one by one, that Tim Holmseth is not the genuine article. Mother Randy is basically his babysitter and controller, and is using him for her own means. And then you have a bunch of people that are hanging on as trusted operatives, for one reason or another, mainly because they want to be the in crowd. And while they may think they have Timmy's ear and Timmy's confidence, they don't. It's all being controlled by Kim at the top of this heap, and perhaps one or two others that are under her command. But there is nothing else. You know, anybody out there in Timmy Land is disposable. If they feel that you are a liability, that they would be better off without you, out you go. And wine, excuse me, I kind of stuttered myself. Forgot my Pepsi tonight. Juan O Savin is the latest on that hit list. And so, you know, basically there you have it. It's uh, just another chapter in this mess. Hi all, driving but here. Well, good evening, Paula. We were just talking about the latest development with Juan O Savin here. Um, you know, it's just more proof of something that I've said for years, and that is if Tim Homeseth considers you a liability or he can't benefit from you in a positive way, he's going to kick you out the door and he's going to benefit from you in a negative way. He did this to his best friends in East Grand Forks, and he's done it to just about everybody else since then. And so, you know, what is the answer? I don't know. You know, if people still go flocking to this idiot, there's not anything anybody can do. They're going to do it. Uh, so, that's where we stand tonight. Yeah, he does have that, you know, it's one of the things you see out there about him, so I plucked this thing to put it up. Let me. But Tim, the last thing Tim put up was uh, 10 hours ago. And somebody says if 107 is one of seven, I'm guessing Robert David Steele was number two, meaning full of shit. Well, that's pretty blunt. Okay, we got a spam. And we had this comment unavailable as the commenter has you blocked. Well, I can guess who that is. Um, and then we have 100% bullshit. Juan and Field have been friends for decades. They still are. I was told Juan tried to talk Field out of slandering Kim Picasio, but Field was completely convinced that Tim and Randy were telling the truth, which we all know is no longer the case. And more spam. Supporter of Field, another supporter of Field. Truth Punisher says buy Juan. So Truth Punisher has disowned Juan as well, so that's one down for the count. Somebody says, I can confirm I heard JO7 say Field's arrest was his own fault, that he has to move through the process. Well, I followed that plucked up process very closely. I lost respect for JO7 because of the words he used on that day, in addition to a mistake he made long before that. Not relevant what that was. Many of us were keenly alert to every single insignificant post. We did not miss a thing. So that's another person that is against Juan. I tweeted at the White House when Field asked someone watching to do so. Never did I think that Field would be betrayed. Field should be a general, blah, blah, blah. And another comment, like I said before, when Juan is around, bad things happen. Ask Mike Lindell. So I guess Mike Lindell's problems is being blamed on Juan as well. So everybody with the hooks in their nose are following Timmy into the abyss, and Juan is another one of those people that is now on Timmy's shit list, and this is probably going to happen more often. He's still um, posting about David Straits, and David Straits basically in the hot seat as well. And there's no telling who's going to be next on this list as the paranoia sets in, and they're going to have to start pruning people. Um, and they're starting the blocking. I can imagine who blocked me, and I'm not even on, and she's not even here. But these people are scared of even having people read their comments, and so they go around hitting the block button, which is, if they want to do that, no problem. Because it's not me that's going to be their problem, it's the people that support these various individuals that Tim Homeseth is now betraying. And all because these people won't do as he tells them to. Juan Savin is in trouble because he won't release material. Lynn Wood's in trouble for the same thing. And so is David Strait, and so is General Flynn. None of these people are putting Tim Homeseth on the little pedestal that he wants to be on. So, not only does he have people on the left against him, Juan now has the people on the Patriot movement over on the right against him. I mean, he's in a no-win situation. The same thing goes for everybody else on Timmy's little list. If you don't cater to Tim, you're going to get it. And they're getting it. And, wonder what happens when the next video comes out over on BitChute, or the next comment comes up on Telegram, or on Gab or Rumble. Might as well call it Ruddle. Catherine, have a good evening. Welcome. Jolly Bridge Burner, welcome. I'm not going to try to pronounce the first word in there. I'm not good at linguistics. And so we have a modest little crowd in here tonight. Appreciate people showing up. this being a holiday, I wasn't too certain if you folks were going to take time off. Uh, Technically, it's not a holiday, it's a remembrance, because this is a way of remembering the veterans who have sacrificed their lives and their health and their freedom and so forth to defend this country, and actually for the right of people like Tim Holmseth and Randy Erickson to spew their bullshit all over the internet. They can thank the veterans for it, even though they insult them by saying that they're war correspondents when there's no such thing as a war going on. But, you know, Tim is out for his own glory. Hmm. Did I say 8 p.m.? Should have been 9 p.m. Well, that's alright. Excuse me. I always go on at 9. I rarely go on earlier because usually people are doing things and getting settled down, plus we have a time zone to work with. But since most of my viewers right now are in the Central and East Coast, I haven't backtracked my time zone starts to meet up with the left coast because there's just not enough people over there. You know, it's really enough that they do turn in when they're able to. I think YN used to be one of the few that tuned in from California, but I'm rambling. But anyway, getting back to the subject at hand. So I'm not sure what's going to be coming up next with Juan, and how he's going to handle this going forward. There are a number of people that are in contact with him who keep me apprised of what's going on, and uh, you know, uh, basically, what happens next is going to be up to Juan, it's going to be up to Lynn, going to be up to General Flynn, and everybody else that basically has found themselves in as a has a bullseye uh, tacked to their profiles or to their faces or portraits or whatever. Um, they just, for whatever reason, are closing ranks against these people. I don't know who they're going to pick up as their next hero. Uh, they're always going to have Donald Trump as a hero because that's the only person they can depend on right now, even though he ignores them as well. People within the Patriot movement are being questioned because of that. Boy, I'm mangling my words tonight. So there's no telling what's going to happen with um, the former president. And who the hell is Leo Terrell? Um, there's a lot of promotion of other pages on that channel and a lot of spam. Well, I'll tell you something, Bridge Burner. I've been dealing with this nonsense since 2010. I'm a veteran at having to deal with Mr. Holmseth and his antics. It got a hell of a lot worse once Randy came on board and really gave him the resources necessary for him to pull off this garbage. But I think she's going to start realizing that even she has uh, limitation, and um, probably start going down the rabbit hole to where she's going to be out of business because she has a civil judgment that she has to look for. Oh, okay. Well, we get something new every day here. Because there was a post over there that, oh, all right, that mentions Leo Terrell, and apparently Leo Terrell has joined Telegram, whoever the hell that is. So that's another one of their favored servants over there. But lest we forget that Tim Holmseth also went after one or two social media people that refused to interview him on his show. One, he wrote that he couldn't go on her show because his life was in danger and blah, blah, blah. And then we now have another fairly major presence in social media that also got the boot, mainly because he wouldn't interview Tim Holset. So Timmy's shit list gets bigger and bigger and bigger every day. So it's been rather interesting, and uh, I know the Sharp as attack isn't in here. I hope she didn't get driven away because of what happened last night. I still consider Sharp as attack an ally, and I hope she's doing all right. And but perhaps she's just enjoying the day off. But time will tell. Because Fireman John's gone on. He's gotten tired of the nonsense, and I don't blame him. He's got a life to live. He doesn't need any of this. And maybe by staying away, these people will leave him alone. And other people have moved on to other things, and that's exactly what they want. But, for every two we lose, we gain one. So I guess that's 2 steps forward, 1 step, 2 steps backward, 1 step forward, or something like that. So, but again, this isn't for numbers, this is about truth. And so, it's interesting. We got a pretty fair amount of people in here tonight. I was quite surprised. I had thought this would be nothing more than a brief recorded, a live stream that would be put into the archives as a recording so folks out there could come back and see it later and see what the commentary is. I do appreciate all you checking in tonight, and if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share so that this little YouTube channel can continue to get the word out. Other things in the news. Really, there isn't much. We're waiting to hear the judgment on the lawsuit in Minnesota. There's some information that I'm waiting to get released by my sources. We are all anticipating Paula's second segment. If it's as good as the first, we are in for some interesting content coming about eventually. So, Paula, whenever you decide to release that, let everybody know. And if you want to come back on and discuss your next segment, when it happens, you're free to do so. Your door is always welcome. Open, I should say. Drunk as a skunk tonight. It's probably the most appropriate thing, You might as well feel good, look forward to the next day, because, we're back toward the old routine tomorrow. Actually, part of my routine was today. I was on the phone for the better part of the day, basically in planning sessions, because now, everything hits the fan tomorrow, and I'm wheels up nice and early in the morning and all that. So I'm probably going to abbreviate this a little bit because I can't stay up too late because then I'm going to be dog tired in the morning, and even though I can sleep for 2 hours going to my destination and coming back, it's hard to sleep sitting up. And it's a lot, pretty noisy as well. But, so there's that. Eventually, I am going to open up the M4K channel, and the M4K channel is a completely different format. It's completely different than what we do here. It's what I intended to do on YouTube in the first place. So I am going to be restarting the subscription drive and all that nonsense once that thing opens up. So stay tuned for M4K when that thing finally gets going. I've delayed this for a couple of years, mainly because Corona got in the way, because a lot of this stuff has to do with being outside in public places and all of that. Yeah, there's not really much to miss tonight, Jolly. I'm just going over what's going on with Juan O Savin and Timmy and the tit for tat going on, although it seems to me more from Timmy. We haven't really heard a lot, if anything, from Juan O Savin since this thing is intensified. But, Juan O Savin probably has more important things to do, and he looks at Tim Holseth as small potatoes and is probably ignoring them. But time will tell, because he should address it. I mean, this is disparaging his character, and he's being made to look like a fraud and a liar by people that are supposed to be on his side. And the longer he remains silent about everything, the worse it's going to get for him. Because these things have a habit of growing. I know that from personal experience. If you don't address it, it gets worse. That thing about, okay, GS. Well, not a whole hell of a lot going on Facebook anyway. But anyway, folks, that basically is it. I'm going to probably close out this relatively short uh, live stream so that those of you who are drunk can get drunker. The rest of you can go out and do hula hooping, play with your dogs, do whatever it is you do on a Monday night. That's a federal holiday in all of this. Paladin. The only thing I know about Paladin is it was a Western. So, don't know anything about Paladin. But, yeah, that's okay, GS. There wasn't much going on here anyway. It was just one of these things where I got on here just to, do an update. I really doubt that, GS. I'm not putting up the phone link tonight because this is a short. Let's see. We did hear from one of Alex's cult that David Strait got angry at a Patriot when he tried to discuss Tim at a conference. Well, that means that David Strait is basically kicked Timmy to the curb, which is no surprise. This is why Timmy's attacking David Strait, is because David Strait basically has kicked him out of the club, so to speak. Timmy is no longer has access to the former president because he's lost that one man that was between him and between Timmy and the president. So, Timmy's basically kicked himself out the door by his antics, and may he continue on his course. He's just his own worst enemy. He's Joe Biden's best friend, and so on. And so with that, I will thank everybody for coming in. I may try to get on Friday. I'm going to be watching to see what happens during the week. And I'll find something to talk about on Saturday. So I will let you know earlier in the week if I'm going to be on Friday. It just depends on what happens and who it happens to. And I will find something to talk about on Saturday. And so again, thank you for coming in. Do the like, subscribe, notification bit. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hope the week goes smoothly for everybody. And until then, have a good one. Good night, all.